Hello lads, I'm doing another one of these. My voice isn't doing the best right now, but I'm cool with it. And plus I've already done videos before with a really bad voice and just being sick in general. But hey, at this point we should get used to it. Crisis is also going to be answering a couple questions here since it's practically something he can also answer, and it's just great to have two people from the team answering the questions here. I've been gathering the questions for the literal third attempt of my Ask Me Anything request for Primal Instincts, because I feel like I wasn't too clear and most people were memeing around with them. But anyways, I'll get on to the topic. I've been gathering questions from both Instagram and YouTube comments, and I'll be reading and showing them on screen, and I'll be doing my best to answer them without giving spoilers for future plans that I haven't already shown. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so the first question is from Wolfak Studios on Instagram, and he asks, what inspired you to do Primal Instincts? Oh, this is a pretty fun one to answer. Like I've mentioned before in a previous video, this entire AU started from a complete joke and a little motivation from a friend to push me to do roll switches, and Pip, back when he was called Speedy, to do fight or flight cover, as well as drawing the first concepts too. Shout out to that one Cadbury dog, aka Invis, for pushing us to draw and compose the joke. We literally wouldn't have gotten to do the first concepts if he didn't do that. So yeah, the AU technically started from some silly joke, a friend boosting the silly joke, knowing how impulsive we get to creating stuff, and bam! We had a vocal cover made with ROCs and then concept art before we actually expanded it and made it our own thing.
I think what inspired me to start doing Primal Instincts was the fact that I got to collab with Water a bit more. Other than that, it was just kind of the fact that I got to voice act.
Alrighty, the next question is also by Wolfak, and he asks, what do you like to do most in Primal Instincts?
The thing I like doing the most probably has to be composing and then probably voice acting.
I love composing music for the soundtrack, mostly because I actually get to tell stories through them. I've been composing most of the soundtrack myself because that's just always been a thing I just love to do. I've also been more and more active in drawing comics, and I've gotten better at doing so over time. Plus, this project has actually made me consistent when it comes to art and gives me tons of practice, as well as getting back into digital art, as you can see here. I also got a chance to try voice acting with others, and even if I kinda suck sometimes, but hey, it's the first time for everyone. Same with sound production, and man, I love everything to do with audio. I got to experiment with my voice a lot in music too, and I'll cut this short before I start rambling again. I pretty much love working on the audio aspects of Primal Instincts, just to enhance future comics and animatics we make. Oh look, we got another one from Wolfak, and it seems to be his last one too. He asks, do you have any plans to make another project like Primal Instincts?
Oh lord, doing another project other than Primal Instincts right now, or maybe as big as it, I don't think I could ever. We have an amazing team, amazing composers, amazing artists, amazing voice actors and everything, but I don't think I could ever be in an environment like this if it wasn't with friends.
Considering how big of a project Primal Instincts already is, I'd have to say a huge no. But I really enjoyed this project and all the people involved. The community have been nothing but supportive, and we all have been gathering the hype alongside memes, and it's just been great. I personally don't think there could be another project I make that would be compared to participating in this one. It's genuinely such an amazing project with lovely people, and I love every moment of working with them in this project. It's nothing but hype and creativity with great times and jokes. Thanks for the questions, by the way. Going on to the next question, this one is from Ice Ninja on YouTube, and he asks the following. Since I haven't seen the plot of the AU, does the animatic serve as a prologue, or does it take place after some events? If so, is the conflict just someone trying to kill Crisis while it tries to protect them, or is it deeper than that? And why did Crisis leave? The animatic you've all seen on YouTube so far, that being Desperation, takes place after a scene called Rough Conditions, and I have uploaded that before the animatic was released as a little build-up to what would go down. The fun fact about Rough Conditions was that it was the second ever planned event in the entire Primal Instinct storyline, so it's pretty old. Same with the composition. The Desperation animatic itself is the beginning of an alternative route specifically tailored to Crisis, where he feels more confident showing his powers or abilities as he's been hiding them all this time. To correlate to the question, it takes place after many events, close to the middle point of the storyline so far. So it isn't exactly a prologue, but it however introduces a new route that is separate from the actual storyline, but does follow some elements of it. If you haven't seen Rough Conditions, said conflict is Water trying to get Crisis to come back to the hideout and stop him from going to confront Speedy. In desperation, Crisis refuses to listen and resisted her persuasion, hence the name of the route. The conflict is actually much deeper than people think. Water alongside Leah have seen what Speedy has done and managed to escape the fate of hundreds, if not thousands of people. She's seen the horrors and capabilities and does not wish for Crisis to end up being a victim, thus being defensive, while Crisis has actually witnessed the same horrors, but in a different way, seeing Water herself die from Speedy. How that exactly happened, I will not say. I'm leaving that to Crisis.
I feel like Water did a great explanation to this answer, while also leaving it kind of up in the air for interpretation. So I'm not going to really give my input on this one, but I'm just gonna say that you're gonna have a ball to see with what I have in store.
Going back to the question though, Crisis left to try confront Speedy. He felt confident he could take him because of his hidden ability, his speed, on par with Speedy's too. But of course nobody knows about that since he's kept that a secret for God knows how long. I just realized how much I rambled on this question, oh god. But yeah, that's pretty much what's happening with that conflict. Thanks for the question, by the way. Alright, next one is from Christian Brian on YouTube, and he asks, how old is the AU? This AU, as of the time I'm making this video, is 10 months old. The original concept, aka the joke, was created on the 3rd of April 2023. It was officially announced by Pip on Twitter when he made the concept design for Water on the 6th of April 2023. And the AU has only been expanding more and more as time went on. Thanks for the question. The next one is from Lord Crichton on YouTube, and he asks, who is every character in the AU and how do they relate to Water? Oh, this question is gonna mentally tax me. I'll put a quick disclaimer, even if the question doesn't mention it specifically. I may draw Water a lot when it comes to Primal Instincts, but she is not the main character. The roles are split between many perspectives, I just have yet to show them. Going back to the question though, and making a list of who's the closest and who isn't. Crisis is Water's best friend, and she considers him her soul brother due to how close they are, and some other bizarre reasons I won't get into. Leah is Water's bestie and Speedy's older sister. They're pretty much close and have known each other for years. Speedy's pretty much the goofy little kid that's in the group of friends, and Water knew him from Leah since they're siblings. Eve is a good friend of Water's, but she doesn't reside alongside the main group she's in. However, she knows of the others through stories mentioned and has yet to actually meet them. As for the rest of the cast, Water isn't exactly a sociable character, so she doesn't really know many people properly outside her little friend group. She's an introvert with social anxiety, may be friendly, but can't exactly keep up conversations for long as her social battery will drain. She's more likely to recognize people as regular customers from a coffee shop she works in, or as acquaintances or friends of friends, which seems more realistic. I'll say there are a lot of characters if you count future cameos, and I can't list them all unfortunately. You may have to wait and see. Thank you for the question though. Oh goodness. We have a bunch of questions from Roy Nabroth on YouTube, and he asks, how many characters are in the AU and what are their roles? Main, support characters, and cameos in the story. This is one of those questions I'm struggling to answer because I don't have a set number. There's literally so many cameos I can't count right now and more coming along the way. I'll start off with the main lads I usually draw. Water is a protagonist, but she is not the main character. This AU focuses on multiple people's perspectives to see their stories and experiences. As for her role, she's mainly just trying to help people as much as she can. So she's mainly considered a support character, just trying to help the main lads. Think mentor or guardian, but not very brave herself. Leah's a protagonist and pretty much the AU starts off in her perspective, especially when it comes to the majority of the first episodes, which I'm still running by the way. She's actually a very important character in the AU, but I've kept some plans under wraps. Won't spoil them right now, so you guys will have to wait and see. Crisis is another protagonist and has an entire route designated to him, so he's definitely got a huge thing going on for him. He mostly acts on his own accord despite literally being surrounded by danger. He's more confident than the rest of the lads, that's for sure. While I'm still in the planning phase, the majority of the cameos will be appearing in the first episode, and oh boy, I'm gonna have a lot of trouble sketching and digitalizing all those frames. The next question is, as seen in the Desperation video, she can actually use her singing to persuade monsters to not attack her or let their guard down? Yes and no. While her singing act can help calm down others and possibly soothe them, depending on what songs she sings, in Desperation she used it as a final act and it was all out of stress. So of course it wouldn't have been effective. Plus it doesn't really work with Crisis. You could say singing is also a coping mechanism for her to calm down, which in this case, she was using it for both that reason and to try and mention how she felt, and not exactly as a way to persuade him. If you listen closely, you can hear it's faint and actually shaky. Please don't go. You're one of the few.
Is this really what you want to do?
Thank you for the question, by the way. Alrighty, the next question is from Overlord MGC on YouTube, and he asks, is Crisis an instrument? Is Speedy an instrument? Is Water an instrument? What exactly is Speedy infected with? I know I call it jokingly hyper advanced super APs, but what is it really? Okay, for starters, that became an inside joke for the longest time, and I've quite literally mentioned it to multiple people. But with all seriousness, it's not something I can reveal without mentioning spoilers, so you may need to wait until that fog clears up in the series. Sorry. Thanks for the questions, though. Oh, I like the next question. This one's from Python on YouTube, and he asks, how many more songs are you planning to add to the AU? There's already so many songs and scenes thought out. How many of those are actually going to be fully imagined? You're completely fine leaving smaller encounters with a cover and a mood track. I'm asking these so you don't have too many old ideas pile up behind you. Oh, trust me, buddy, you have no idea how much we've got planned, but at the same time, most scenes actually come from songs, since that's how I usually go about doing things. Sometimes some concepts spark out without music, but obviously get accompanied by them later on. There's a lot of small scenes, and almost all the scenes planned have their respective tracks. More prominent scenes have more impactful music, and of course more instrumentation. How I go about it is matching the art or visual aspect to the music or auditory aspect. I'm kinda a sucker for visual and audio cues synced at once to make something impactful and satisfying. Or this is my self-perfectionism talking, which in this case, I'm sorry. Also, dude, you know I'm gonna get hyper-focused when it comes to music, but because that's just how it goes with me. I'm crazy about showing story through music and audio, and I always try to make music match the theme and mood of the scenes or the characters involved. Drawing it is something, but I personally love expressing that through music so others can feel it too. That's my forte.
Oh wait, hold up, I actually have to pull up Potter's chats because I forgot how many I said I was doing. 20.
Wait.
Yeah, 20.
Dude, what?
10 themes, and then 10 loopable, like,
What the heck, bro? You're insane.
God, what did I say? Looped songs, so like background music and stuff like that. Nothing really too crazy. The themes probably will be like 2-3 minutes long. The shorter themes will probably be like a minute and a half. But that's like for background music.
And that's all the questions. Thank you guys for giving them. Sorry about my voice not sounding the best throughout that, but I wanted to give a few more details about the AU without revealing too much. Plus I love talking about it, so yeah. Hope you guys found our ramblings cool. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!